a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
I'm Christina Khan.
And I'm Leela Hilton.
And this is Burn Before Reading, the podcast about shiterature.
We're here to cover literary cringe and drama, as well as some pieces we wrote when we were cringe ourselves.
There's no one here today.
Our guest today is nobody.
Oh.
Is Penny.
Yeah, Penny's in the corner licking herself. That's my girl. Yeah, it's an ussy today. Leela and I are not only ussing, but we are ussing in person. And we are making eye contact.
It's intense, guys.
We're making eye contact so hard right now. Leela, how the fuck are you?
I am good. I'm good. I just got back from like a crazy bougie work trip. They flew us out to Atlantic City, and I did not gamble because, like, fuck that noise.
Yeah, makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, me too. But it was fun watching others lose money and drinking and going to fun shows and getting free meals and hanging out with and meeting new people. At those type of events, I'm usually like, I'm like not like other coworkers, you know what I mean? So they're like, oh my God, this girl is so hilarious and quirky. Like, what a quirky bird she is. And I'm like, oh my God.
I do get it. I feel like I've always been the kookiest person at the workplace. Yeah, for sure.
It's fun because I'm not that in my friend groups because I'm friends with only kooks, you know? So
yes, yeah. Yeah. It's like the cast of Saturday Night Live, but not as funny, just as annoying.
But then I like try that shit outside of that setting with my friends, and no one laughs, and they're just like,
really? I feel like I always have people being like, God, like my dad is always like, you're so funny and smart, and I'm like, nah.
Yeah, no, my family is, it's the same. They're not funny. So they're like, Leela, come. If Leela's not here, we're all just twiddling our thumbs talking about golf, you know? And I'm like,
not golf.
I know. The Masters.
Speak
or
of
something.
the dad.
What is it? The Master?
Yeah,
the
it's called the Masters.
Yeah, the Master.
Well, it's the Masters to figure out who the master is.
Ah, the Golf Master.
Golf Master.
It sounds a lot more interesting than it is.
Yeah. So that's what Leela did on her spring break. Yeah. I have been traveling a lot. I went to, I think we released episodes while I was out west in Vegas and the Grand Canyon and Zion National Park, did a tri-state area tour. And then I spent 10 days in Ireland with Haley, Brooke, Blair, and Mary Clay, which was awesome. We're all still friends.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's a long time to be spend that much time together.
Like, non-stop. Like, I shared a bunk bed with Haley.
Yeah.
I couldn't escape her. I remember one time I was like, I'm gonna go get some peace and quiet, and then she, like, followed me, because she also wanted to get some peace and quiet. Yeah. I was like, okay. And, lots of mixed farts in the air. It was a very small room. But Ireland's beautiful. It's one of the only places I've ever traveled to that doesn't openly hate Americans. They were, like, so welcoming. Everyone was so nice. The countryside was so beautiful. The beer was so plentiful. I was about to say good. It's not that good, but it's pretty plentiful.
Yeah, because they don't really serve, like, ice cold beer there, right? That's kind of the thing. It's, like, the Guinness I've heard is room temp. Is that wrong?
I did not have a room temp Guinness.
That's good.
And I had, like, mad Guinnesses. We trekked all across that city, well, that city being Galway, which is a beautiful seaside town in Ireland, ranking the Guinness pours, because apparently not apparently, I've learned, it's real. There's, like, a big difference from pub to pub in how, like, the Guinness pour is, depending on the length of the line and the fucking bartender and, like, other stuff. I googled it and I already forget. But, like, they do taste different from pub to pub. And so the best Guinness in all of Galway, out of the 5 places I tried, even though there's like 1,100 restaurants there, was Freeney's.
Oh, but not the Guinness factory or whatever.
The Guinness storehouse, it was kind of a blur because we did go there and we did have Guinness, but it was kind of a blur. And it was also the first Guinness I had in the country, so I don't remember if that one was great or not. But you would think it would be.
Yeah.
They're Guinness.
I saw Brookie had a Guinness too.
Yes.
You can't not.
It was a 0.
Oh, that's really
Guinness
cool.
0. Yeah. There was actually kind of a lot more readily available no alcohol beer options there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Not that Brooke drank those. She was drinking Fanta constantly. Their Fanta's different over there. It's less sweet.
Oh.
And it is fucking good.
That sounds delish. That's my problem with Fanta. I feel like it's too sweet.
So sweet. Yeah. So, in summary, go to Ireland.
Okay. That sounds great.
It's great.
Would you say maybe go when it's a little warmer out?
Well, every single day we were there was 60 degrees and a perfecly sunny, clear sky. So
Okay, never mind.
no notes.
Okay.
No notes on anything.
All right.
Wow. I know. I was prepared for it to be kind of dreary.
But I was expecting some local Irish hunks, but apparently that's just not the case over there.
We were looking so hard for the hot Irishmen. And what we determined is that they are all at sea. Because walking around cities, no. You're not going to find a hot Irishman there. Including we spent a lot of time on Tinder looking for them.
Yeah.
And I even matched with a couple guys. I matched with first of all, we were openly swiping as a group on Tinder. And our waiter came over and laughed at us. And Brooke, as he walked away, Brooke was he just realized that girls can do this to the boys on Tinder. And I matched with this guy. Well, Brooke did because they were all, it was a low stakes, no stakes Tinder swiping. So Brooke swiped on this guy who is not my type, a buff man named Michael, would you believe, much like her husband.
I am shocked.
And we saw him later at a convenience store, and he looked rough.
Oh.
And he did not notice me, but I noticed him. And we were comparing him to his picture, and we were like, oof, you look rough. He looks like he has fallen on hard times.
Yeah.
He looks like Peter B. Parker.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But the couple hot guys we saw were all boatmen.
Okay.
We saw the hottest man in the universe boating.
I love a good seaman.
A seaman, yeah.
Yeah.
You said it funnily, and I said it stupidly.
That's the right way. It's seaman. It's
seaman.
I know.
Oh.
Christina, what's been cringing you out recently?
Well, as I think anyone who knows me could have guessed, I do, unfortunately, at this time, have a boyfriend. You might remember, a month ago, I announced as my cringe that I had a crush on a boy.
Uh-huh.
One thing led to another. He kissed me and told me I was pretty, put his penis inside of me, and I was hooked. So I'm dating that guy. That's not my cringe.
Yeah, that's not nice. Don't say that's your cringe. You know he listens.
No, he does. He listened once. I don't think he ongoingly listens. That's not my cringe, but is an important life update and important context. Because just today, my hair's been dyed red for a while, and it's been this weird red. And I just stripped it today, so it's back to blonde, which I like better. But my cringe is from 2 months ago, when I first started talking to this man, Greer. Mm-hmm. He's canon now. I've said his name on the show.
She just doxed him.
His name's Greer. Yeah, find him. I wonder if there's more than one in Richmond.
Surely no.
When we first started seeing each other in at the end of January, my hair I had just dyed it auburn. It was a brown auburn color. I don't remember why this came out. We were just chit-chatting. When you're on a first, second date, you're just talking about any dumb shit. And I remember him saying, I like girls with red hair. Because what kind of a man doesn't like girls with red hair?
Yeah, everybody loves a hot redhead. It's true.
Red hair. So he said, I love girls with red hair. And I was like, heard, I will never do that. And then the next day I went out and I bought magenta hair dye because I'm a pink hair girl and I wanted my hair to be pink because the auburn wasn't really working for me. Auburn's not the hair color of my soul.
Yeah.
So I went to go put magenta over it. And what happened was it turned out to be a vibrant fire truck red. And I was like, oh no, it looks like this guy that I've been talking to for 3 days said that he liked red hair, and I immediately the next day dyed my hair red. And I was like, how can I ever live this down?
Yeah. But did he think it was sweet? Aw, you listened to me.
Hard no. I was
Okay.
like, before I see you, I need you to know that I've had a hair mistake. So that's my cringe. What's been cringing you out lately?
I've had lots of cringes. At this trip, you know, I don't usually travel alone except for work, and it's been a long time since I've traveled alone, and I'm definitely the person who, like, I'm just there, like, for the ride. I'm not the planner. I know that's shocking to hear.
What? But you're such a type A girl.
I know. But so I like fucked up a lot. Like, one thing I did was I totally misunderstood, and I thought I had to fly into Philly because that airport in Atlantic City is really small, and, like, of course Richmond doesn't really have direct flights there. So it's like an hour from Atlantic City, the Philly airport, and everyone was flying there, and I heard that there was going to be a shuttle like going from the airport to the hotel. And I was like, oh, perfect, because then a bunch of other people were carpooling, and I was like, what's the point of that? You know, just let's just shuttle. We're all going to be drinking. Who's going to want to be driving? And so I misunderstood, and I guess there were the few people that were flying in straight to Atlantic City, they had a shuttle, because after saying it out loud, I was like, that's kind of a long shuttle ride to go. The term shuttle doesn't usually mean, like, we're going to go on a journey.
Yeah, it would be like a bus.
Yeah. So there was no shuttle, and I had no ride. So I showed up to the Philly airport and was just like, oh my God, like, having to message, like, everybody in my entire department, which is like 60 people, and I was just like, can anybody get me there, please? I can't afford an hour-long Uber ride in fucking New Jersey, like, from PA to New Jersey. You know, that shit would have cost like over $100 for sure. And
there's probably a train. Surely there was a train.
Maybe. I was just stuck at the airport, though. So it was all okay. Somebody had, like, an extra seat and was able to scoop me up. So
thank God.
It was fine. And then I had to figure out a ride back to the airport, too. But that was really bad. And then I locked myself out of my room with my key card in there another time as well. So I had to pee really bad, too. But so I had to go down.
Of course you did.
So I had to go down to the front desk, and they were like, in Jersey, they're a little different than they are here. Like, it comes off a little cold and mean sometimes, the way everyone acts, and it's just because, like, in here we live in the South, and, like, everyone, it's typically in customer service, like, people are sugarcoating things, and it's not like that there. So I just felt like a big idiot, but I got my card, so those were my two big cringes. I was like, oh God, I'm not responsible enough to travel.
It's hard, and especially, I don't know, if you're, like, partying and tired and stuff.
Yeah.
When I was in Vegas by myself, that was, like, the first time I ever had my own hotel room. And, well, were you staying in a casino hotel?
Yeah.
Those are crazy.
They're crazy.
Those are crazy because I was, like, delirious from, like, no sleep. I was, like, so tired. I was, like, so overstimulated. And I was, like, I can't even figure out how to get to the desk to get my key. And then once I got my key, they were like, go past two
Yes.
Dunkin' Donuts to the third Dunkin' Donuts and look for a secret elevator. And I was like, my brain is like 1 a.m. back home. Okay, like, I'm so tired right now.
Yeah. Like, literally, I was like, I'm trying to find the first day, I was like, I'm trying to find my room. And they were like, well, where is it? I was like, it's on the 20th floor. And they were like, the 20th floor in what tower? And I was like, oh, why is there so many towers here?
That's fucked.
There was like 3 towers.
Just look up my name.
I know. But it was really fun. It was quite nice to have my own hotel room. I do enjoy that.
Yeah. I literally was like, this is amazing. Like, this is bliss.
It's like a California king bed. And
girl.
Yeah, my company just, again, it's the nicest hotel I will ever stay in, probably ever. And I just put all the pillows in the middle and I just spread out.
Oh,
It's so nice.
Hell yeah.
But yeah. So I guess that ended up not being really that cringe.
Neither one of ours was too cringe.
Yeah, that's okay.
I guess we just had a good spring break.
Yeah, we did. Yay.
Don't worry, guys. We'll be cringing soon. There will be some cringes on the horizon.
Yeah, always.
Oh, I know.
What?
Today's piece. I'm sure that'll make me cringe. So today, guys, I know you've been waiting for it. We're continuing the epic novel, Jazz's Confessions.
I know you've been on the edge of your seats.
I want to check real fast. So this is Jazz's Confessions Part 3.
Uh-huh.
I wonder how many parts it's going to end up being.
I know, because there's still quite a bit left, no?
We are on page 21 of 80.
21 of 80. Okay,
Yeah.
well, this will be like 18 parts then. Possibly even more.
Okay. Well, we've done 2. We've been doing... it sounds like it'll be 8 parts. We've been doing about 10 pages per part.
Okay. 8 parts. That's good math.
Thank you. Well, it was 80 divided by 10.
10. I had to ask a coworker recently. I was like, hey, I'm going to take 5 days off of work for this trip, this girl's trip. Can you just check my math? Is it 40 hours? And they were like, yeah,
That's
bitch.
a work
And I was
week.
like, oh my God, it's a work week.
And it's not
just
even
kidding, prank. I knew that.
And it's not even a girl's trip.
Oh, yeah, there's boys. I keep forgetting. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We love them. They're allowed.
Okay. So where are we, Leela? What do you remember happening in the last session? Our last session of Jazz's... our last confession session.
Confession session. Okay, grandmother was fussing at DeVay, who was like our hot mess, rainbow friend.
Hot. Emphasis on hot, emphasis on mess.
Yeah, emphasis on both. She's just a hot mess. And then there's a boy as well, Rory and Matt. We're meeting people. They just left the dinner table to go into, oh my God. Jazz. Oh my God.
Jazz's
Into
Confessions is Jazz's Confession.
They just left the dinner table to go into Jazz's room to kvetch about the fact that DeVay is totally moving.
She's totally moving. All right, good memory.
Thank you.
Good memory. Do you want me to read most of it like usual, or do you want to go back and forth since it's in front of us?
My God. We can go back and forth, but you should start us off.
Oh, I will start us off.
Okay.
Oh, I will. DeVay sat on Kelia's bed like she always wanted to. She usually had some kind of bug or snake or frog or disturbing picture of something like turtles doing it to put under Kelia's blanket. Anything like that got an awesomely explosive reaction from Kelia. Plus, Alex always gets blamed, despite the fact that anything that crawls completely freaks him out. That's little brother. He's like between 5 and 10. I don't know.
Okay. Today, DeVay. Ooh.
Today,
DeVay. Da 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 da.
Oh my
Sounds
God.
like
that Matt would write that love song for her.
Today, DeVay.
You're not moving away.
Why don't you sit on my dick and stay? Okay.
They're minors.
Oh yeah, sorry, but they probably still do it.
Oh, they definitely. I'm sure that
We just can't sing about it. Okay. Today, DeVay pulled out a little Tupperware container with a centipede, or maybe it was a millipede. I didn't have time to count.
Boo.
Rory stared at her as she shoved it under the pillow and turned to me as I sat down on my bed. Rory and Matt sat on either side of me.
I'm trying to remember like any of the voices I did for any of these characters.
DeVay's British. Just kidding. She's not.
I can't move, DeVay said. You can't move, I agreed. Definitely can't move, said Matt.
We all looked at Rory, expecting him to agree with us. The three of us knew that someone like him, surrounded by people he didn't know well, would go along with anything just to avoid conflict. Rory hesitated a minute before saying, I don't really know you, but I don't think it's fair for the parental units of a family to have complete control over every aspect of their children's lives.
DeVay stared at him. Mother of God, I think I love you. Cue awkward silence. That sentence there was brilliant, she continued. I sensed Matt wanting to continue with the previous conversation now and said, You can't move.
We gotta think of something, said DeVay. Yeah, I agreed. You guys want to stay over? Okay, said Matt and DeVay at the same time. You're allowed to have guys stay over? Asked Rory. Sure, why not? I said. Mom's not worried about me. She knows I'm not an idiot, and she doesn't care about them much. I pointed to Matt and DeVay, who were now macking on Kelia's bed. They're not her kids.
Macking?
Yeah.
Is that something, do you recognize that term?
Yeah, it's like, are you macking on me?
I think it means,
Kissing.
I think I'm using it like making out here.
Yeah.
Okay, define macking.
I haven't heard that in a hot minute.
I know, I wonder where I got it from. Macking means flirting or attempting to attract someone. I don't know where, I'm sure I heard that from name any show that was coming out in 20...
You macking on that girl?
2005.
I think so it's almost like it means more like, are you hitting on that girl?
Yeah, but I definitely, this is making out.
Yeah.
Like they're macking on the bed.
They're macking out.
They're totally macking out. I looked over to Matt and DeVay. Hey, if you guys are going to do that, at least get off the centipede. They immediately stopped. Matt said, sorry, I'll call your mom. Wait, I'll call my mom. I'm going to go call your mom. Okay. Matt said, I'll call my mom. Where'd your phone go?
Isn't it next to Kelia's bed like it's supposed to be? I walked over to her bedside table to find the phone missing. Oh, right. I failed some English test, so Dad took away my phone as a punishment. Some punishment, said DeVay. Really, said Matt. When do you ever even use the phone anyway? Your only friends are us, and we're always here.
Where's your voices at, Leela?
Oh, shit. Really? Really, said Matt. When do you ever use the phone anyway? Your only friends are us, and we're always here.
I don't think Mom and Dad really cared. Wait, I'm doing like Zoolander.
Really cared.
I don't think Mom and Dad really cared, but the whole we have to be a good parents thing got the better of them for some reason. They were going to take away my computer, but they want me to finish my book so it can become a bestseller and I can earn millions for them. Self-insert, hello.
So she wants to be a writer and she failed an English test?
Because she doesn't believe in the institution of school, Leela.
Oh, sorry. This feels like the one subject she would be good at.
You don't understand punk rock, okay?
Matt reached for the doorknob and said, "We'll go use Addie's phone then." As they left, I asked Rory, "Don't you have to call your mom?" Oh, no, wait, hold on. I asked Rory, "Don't you have to call your mom? I mean, even if she doesn't care about you staying for dinner, she might start to worry if you don't show up at all night."
Actually, I don't think I'll stay over. But if you don't mind, I'm doing the same Zoolander stoner voice for all of them. What are all of their voices? We should have recapped.
I think it's like harder in person. I don't know why. Just to do the voices.
Yeah. If you don't mind, I'd like to come back tomorrow. Sure, whatever. Even if... Oh, you want to go?
Even if I did stay over, Mom wouldn't notice. I mean, she's kind of screwed up since her and my dad got a divorce.
Wait, it says she's been kind of screwed
up. Oh, she's been kind of screwed up she's been kind of screwed up since her and my dad got a divorce.
Grammar.
I know. And then dad sued her for legal custody of the twins, my little sisters, since he thought I was too sissy for a guy.
Damn.
He immediately stopped talking. Sorry. I don't think you wanted to hear that.
He immediately stopped talking, followed by a line of dialogue. That is not... No, it's cool. Where does your dad live? California. No, maybe we should do dialogue style?
Yeah, let's do that. Okay,
I be Jazz because
okay.
Self-insert. And you're going to be Rory.
Okay.
Just to announce to the listeners in case they've been unable to follow thus far. No, it's cool. Where does your dad live?
California. No, Florida. I'm not sure. I haven't seen him in over a year.
Does that mean you haven't seen your sisters in a year?
Yeah, if I knew where they were, I'd go live with them. My mom's not exactly the best.
I sat there uncomfortably for a minute. I didn't exactly like either of my parents or any of my siblings, except Ryan, who hadn't learned to talk much yet. But I couldn't imagine my life without them. I guess it wouldn't be so bad, actually, except I'd be broken alone. Addie was too quiet. Other than that, I didn't have much against her because I didn't really know her since she went to college in NYC, and everyone else was loud or materialistic or annoying.
Rory was sitting there looking sad until I said,
I'm not emotions savvy, but whatever I'm supposed to say to make you feel better, pretend I said it.
"Thanks," he said, even though I hadn't done much of anything. "You know, you're really neat."
How so, Rory? How so, Rory? Oh my god. And then she says, "I know I am."
Rory laughed. "Well, I'm used to having a not-so-good life." He coughed and broke off. I sat, thinking and chewing on my necklace. Ew. I think that this reminded Rory to adjust his necklaces. They were both crosses, I noticed. One was roughly cut wood, and the other was made from some pretty crystal-like material.
You mean crystal?
Yeah.
Why are you wearing 2 crosses? I asked him.
"What? Oh," he said with his goofy grin. "One to ward off evil and one to stab the vampires with."
Okay, that's actually kind of funny. Not any to worship Christ with?
No.
No.
Fuck that guy.
Okay, so why not you be DeVay and I'll be Matt?
Okay.
Now we each get one girl and one boy. So
Okay.
so all we each need is one girl voice and one girl voice and one boy voice.
Okay.
DeVay and Matt came in then and announced that they could both stay over.
My mom was going to bring over some of her little apple pie muffin things, but then I told her that Mrs. Renner was here, and then the muffins all of a sudden burned, DeVay said as she shut the door and sat back on Kelia's bed.
Someone tried to open the door, but it wouldn't move. When I was 10, I fixed the doorknob so that it wouldn't open from the outside unless you toggled this switch underneath, and no one knew about the switch except DeVay and I. Kelia's just thinks that she's been repeatedly locking herself out for the past 7 years, which is crazy gaslighting because you can't lock yourself out of your bedroom unless you're trying really hard.
Yeah.
Like, who's just constantly locking...
Well, I locked myself out of my room at the hotel.
That's a key card. That's an auto lock. That's different. The person tried the knob again and then knocked loudly. "What?" I yelled. "Oh, this is you. This is you."
The correct way to answer a knock is, "Yes, who is it? You may come in."
"Oh no, it's Grandma," I whispered. "Don't let her in," I told Rory, who had been reaching for the door.
"Children, it's time for our annual viewing of the film It's a Wonderful Life. Please come downstairs." She left.
Have you ever seen It's a Wonderful Life?
Yeah,
I've literally never seen it in my life.
Oh, it's great.
And why did I put it in here?
Maybe you think that's like what old people like.
That's what old people
Yeah.
like. Maybe my grandma liked it.
Yeah.
My grandma.
Yeah,
Not
surely.
Not my grandma, my grandma.
Oh.
All right, it's still you.
Okay, DeVay groaned. "Jazz, I've watched this movie with you every year since I met you. We were 4. That's 13 freaking years of it. Can't your grandma just, like, forget the tradition?"
I wish.
"It's not fair that Alex and Mr. Speaks get to leave halfway through."
Oh yeah, I forgot their last name
Is Speaks.
"Why do they leave halfway?" asked Matt, who'd never been around my house at Christmas time before. We hadn't been close friends until he and DeVay started going out around my birthday last January, almost a year ago. He was always just that kid that DeVay and I hung around with during gym. Oh, this is Jazz.
Okay.
They go and get the tree. Then the next day, Grandma makes hot chocolate and Dad brings out the decorations and we all act like we're one big, happy family.
DeVay added, "Oh, and we make lots of popcorn for the movie, but we're only allowed to eat half of it because Addie and Kelia make those stupid popcorn tinsel things."
Yeah, but my dad eats them before they get onto the tree. Rory, I strongly suggest that you go home before we watch this.
"I think I'll stay. I've never seen that movie before."
Well, then prepare for the most boring night of your life.
It's a really good movie.
I think maybe when I was this age, 15, 16, I just was like black and white.
Yeah, it's black and white. That's
Black and
boring.
white is boring. This is the Spy Kids era.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch
Color. DeVay. DeVay and I trudged down the stairs. Oh, wait, well,
Yeah.
Okay. Thinking dreadfully about the movie and contemplating on how we both had the entire thing memorized anyway. Matt and Rory, who were both perfectly happy, not aware of the 2 awful hours that lay ahead, followed us.
Isn't that movie kind of longer than 2 hours even? We don't know.
I don't remember.
Here's something that you don't do, and here's something that I've, like, had a hard time explaining to authors, especially, like, novice authors in the past. This book is first-person limited, which means that it is written in, like, I-me language, that's first person, and limited means, like, first person is inherently limited. I don't know what you're thinking, because we're in my brain. So, like, other books, especially more like classic books, or maybe like Chronicles of Narnia or something, but I don't remember, don't quote me. Like, it's like third person, so it's like this person thought this thing, this person did this thing for this reason. But when you're in first person, Jazz is being like, I, me, and then she's like, DeVay and I are thinking about this. Matt and Rory are both perfectly happy. And it's like, you can't know that. You're just one hoe.
So it should be like Matt and Rory seemed perfectly happy.
Seemed. Or like, I could only assume DeVay was thinking the same thing as me. Or instead of thinking, be like muttering about it.
Yeah. Okay.
In the kitchen, Grandma and Keelia were popping corn kernels in our old-fashioned popper. Grandma says it tastes more like genuine Christmas popcorn this way instead of in the microwave. Addie brought out 4 huge bowls from the pantry and placed them on the counter next to the popper. What I want to know is, why isn't more onus in this family placed on Addie? Why is she just strong and silent? She's the eldest. And do you remember Jazz called her an almost sister or something like that?
Yeah. Is it because she's so like much older than her?
I don't. She's only in college.
Yeah.
She's at most, if she's getting her PhD. This family can't afford that.
No.
Okay,
Maybe she gets like a
22.
full, some kind of scholarship or ride or something.
We don't know. We just don't know.
Genuine Christmas popcorn. Okay, well, when I think of Christmas popcorn at all, I think of...
Ooh, I know what you're going to say.
You know, the classic trio, right?
The trio. The Boy Scout trio?
Yeah, the caramel, the cheddar, and plain.
Regular, yeah.
Yeah, so like, I don't even know what they're talking about. It tastes like Christmas popcorn.
Grandma's just a fucking megalomaniac.
She is. She just makes up all these rules and laws.
She's like, this popcorn is tradition. Are you Rory? Or am I Rory? You're Rory.
I'm Rory.
Yeah.
Can I help with anything? Asked Rory. I shoved him in the ribs and he grimaced, but then camouflaged it as a smile as Grandma turned to him. Of course, Rory. You may stir the hot chocolate. On the counter were 10 mugs with hot water in them and little packets of Nesquik powder in a pile next to them. Rory walked over to them as Grandma stared expectantly at Matt, DeVay, and I, waiting for us to offer help too.
Are you a water or milk hot chocolate kind of girl?
I mean, milk.
Milk for sure.
Especially if it's like a fun, like a special Christmas thing.
Yeah, my family was depraved. We did water for sure.
Yeah, no, my mom's like intense, so she would make homemade hot chocolate, like with like melted chocolate chips and very rich and delicious.
That does sound rich as fuck.
Yeah, super rich.
Well, I said... okay, so the last thing that happened is Grandma is staring expectantly, waiting for everyone else to offer to help. Okay, so Jazz goes, well, I said, I gotta go claim my spot on the couch if I want to have a good view of the TV. Come on, guys.
Matt and DeVay followed me into the family room. Dad was sitting in his chair with a beer in his hand, watching TV, and Alex was playing poker by himself. Is that the kid that's 5 to 10 years old?
Yeah.
Okay. Mom had her head stuck in a cabinet, searching through the movies our family had accumulated over the years.
I wonder if I mean VHS or DVD, because this is obviously physical media.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen the movie? You get to be Grandma, I'll be Mom.
Okay.
Wait, but I did a bad voice.
You know, it was kind of British. Has anyone seen the movie?
Everything is Irish since I got back. Has anyone seen the movie?
Hermione.
I forgot she's Roseanne. Has anyone seen the movie? She asked her voice. Oh, sorry. Her voice muffled. Has anyone seen the movie?
No! Chorused the room.
Damn. Mom withdrew her head from the cabinet and said quietly so Grandma wouldn't hear, "It's not in here."
That's you.
Yes, I cried. I high-fived DeVay as Rory and Grandma entered the room with hot chocolate on 2 trays.
"We've brought snacks," she announced.
Bitch, we all know you were making snacks.
Setting the tray on the table. "Let's get the movie started."
Ooh, I did.
Another
I did Did I do that already in this one?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, okay. Mom looked at me for help. If Grandma didn't have things perfectly precise, then the entire family would be miserable. My mom said slowly to Grandma, "Mom, I can't find the movie."
I expected Grandma's head to explode. I wanted her to go crazy. I'd seriously thought that I was free from the movie. But Grandma said calmly, "No bother." She reached behind the couch and brought out her giant handbag. From within it, she produced a copy of It's a Wonderful Life.
Grandma! I could feel the smile slide off my face. Crap.
I like that sentence. That's pretty good.
Thanks.
Don't curse. Well, that's not even cursing.
Crap?
Don't. Yeah.
Were you allowed to say crap when you were a kid?
No, we weren't. So I guess you're right.
It is totally a swear.
It's like a kid curse.
It's
yeah.
a kid curse.
Don't curse, said Grandma. If there's one thing I learned in the 78 years I've been alive.
Oh my God, tell us how old you are.
No! It that one should always. Hold on, I feel crazy. In the 78 years I've been alive, that one should always have a spare, no matter what one is dealing with.
Is it only 78 years, I asked? Mom slapped me lightly on the arm, but as she left the room, she shot me a grin.
Kelia and Addie came in with the popcorn, and a minute later, Mom returned with the thread and needles. As Grandma put in the movie, she reminded us, "You know the rules, everybody. You eat one, and then you string one. You eat one, then you string one. Do I make myself clear?" she asked Dad.
Crystal.
Swell.
The movie started, and we all grabbed a cupful of popcorn and a string. Matt, Rory, and I were sitting on the couch with DeVay lying on her stomach across our laps. Okay.
Wait, hold on. What? Matt, Rory, and I were sitting on the couch, and DeVay was lying on her stomach across all of our
Imagine
laps.
your friends are sitting in a row on a couch, and you just, dive into them, across them.
How can she watch a movie face down like that?
Well, let's picture her head...
On a pillow, maybe.
No, I was going to say in her boyfriend's lap, but yeah, like laying...
On the side.
On the side,
okay.
yeah.
All right, got it.
I placed my popcorn bowl on her ass and shoved a handful into my mouth before Grandma could see me. She was getting settled in her chair with a huge bowl and a whole spool of thread.
2 hours later, when the credits were rolling up the television screen and Dad and Alex had long since left to go get the tree, I had produced 1 yard of popcorn garland.
Bitch, 1 yard?
What is that? It's not much, right?
No. I've made more than 1 yard of crochet blanket while we've been sitting here.
DeVay was asleep, and Matt was absently poking the contents of his bowl with his needle just to hear the satisfying crunching sound.
See? She can't know why he's doing it. She can only make assumptions.
True. Rory, however, had made 5 times the amount of garlands as me and was staring intently at the screen.
Okay, so he's a kiss ass. So he's a fucking grandma kiss ass.
Gross. Grandma kisser.
Is your line?
Addie flicked on the lights as Grandma said, "That was yet another exciting display of the best movie ever created." "I enjoyed that," said Rory.
"How the hell did you enjoy this crap?" I asked him.
He shrugged. "Maybe I'd have to see it 16 more times like you have. So maybe I'd have to see it 16 more times like you have to get why you don't like it." Whew, that's a crazy sentence.
"No, you'd have to spend 16 more Christmases with her." I jerked my head toward Grandma, who was putting the movie back in her gigantic handbag, to understand why I don't like it.
"Maybe it's because I never really celebrated Christmas. Last year, all my mom did was give me $50 and hang a wreath on the door." Oh, Rory.
What? Matt said, "I've never seen that before, but I didn't like it. Classic movies aren't my bag."
They're not my bag, baby.
They're not my bag. watched Austin Powers last night. That sort of thing is my bag, baby. Me either. Wait, me neither. Hey, I gotta pee, I said. Matt and Rory helped me roll DeVay onto the floor without hurting her, and Matt tried to wake her up, so she got rolled and still is not awake.
Oh my God. When I entered the kitchen after using the bathroom, I could hear Dad and Alex setting up the tree in the next room where we would decorate it tomorrow. Grandma was cleaning up and insisting that Rory and Matt go home and everybody else go to bed.
What the heck, Grandma? It's only 10 o'clock.
Yes, but tomorrow's Christmas Eve, and we're going to have lots to do. There's shopping and cooking and cleaning and decorating. Oh, I'm so excited.
God, Grandma, chill out. I just realized this is totally a Christmas episode.
Oh, yeah.
In April? In April, we're doing a Christmas episode?
Yep.
Well, this is chaos. We have no order here at Burn Before Reading.
Nope.
Matt, DeVay, and I trudged up the stairs after showing Rory to the door. DeVay inconspicuously pressed the trigger into the doorknob, and we went into my room. Keely was brushing her hair. How did she get in there if she doesn't know about the button under the doorknob?
Interesting.
Having already changed into her pink flannel pajamas. As we entered, she sat down on her bed and fluffed her pillow. DeVay grinned as Kelia let out a shriek and flung the pillow at the wall. She jumped away from her bed. "What is that?" she cried, pointing. I walked over to... Oh, wait, this is... Okay, a lot of this is me lines, because...
Yeah, that's okay.
I walked over to her bed and said, studying the contents of the container, "Looks like a bug." "No kidding, it's a bug," said Kelia sarcastically, still shaking. "Just get rid of it. Who keeps putting those here? I'll kill Alex."
It's time you knew the truth, Kelia, said DeVay, picking up the centipede. "Alex doesn't put the bugs under your pillow. The boogeyman does."
Good one. Kelia shrieked again and grabbed her blanket. "That was a really lame joke. Forget this. I'm sleeping on the couch." She stormed out of the room.
"Cool," said DeVay. "I get her bed."
I said, "That was a bad joke, you know." DeVay chucked a pillow at me. Let's see. Okay. We'll read this last. This will be the last paragraph of this session as we have read 10 pages.
Oh my god.
Unless you want to do an XL one.
Yeah, let's do an XL.
Well, because tomorrow's... Oh, yeah, because it's Christmas Eve. Let's see if there's a good stopping point coming up. Dialogue, lots of dialogue. Yeah, let's just do an XL. Let's just keep going. Let's keep going. You want to read this one? A half hour later.
A half hour later, I'd rediscovered that Matt snored. DeVay kept moving, and the noise was amplified by 10 times because of her swishy sleeping bag. I couldn't sleep, so I turned on my computer and worked on my story. Every half hour, I would hear Grandma out in the hall sneak up and press her ear against the door, and I'd stop typing for a minute until I heard her go away. I'd written 5 pages an hour later when I finally got tired and went to bed.
Way to go, Jazz. You're going to write the next great American novel
Definitely.
that you can roast on your podcast when you're in your 30s. That's so funny to me to think of, like, typing while you're in the same room as someone sleeping, because this is what my computer sounds like. Okay, so what just happened is I clicked really hard on my computer keyboard and it immediately stopped our recording. And I didn't notice for like 5 minutes until Leela pointed it out. So God bless Leela.
Yep. Sorry.
She rewards me with a yawn. All right, let's get it back in action. Let's back her up. Okay.
It was after the 5 pages. Oh yeah, after what? Wait, are you and me?
It doesn't matter.
After what seemed like only 3 minutes of sleep, Kelia was shaking me awake. Grandma had pulled the blinds on my window open and was attempting to rouse DeVay. Matt was awake but looking around him in a daze. Get
off, Kelia. I'm awake. I shoved her away. What time is it?
7, responded Grandma. Ugh, so early.
It is a little early for Christmas vacation. What the hell? What the hell do you wake us up at 7 day before Christmas? I guess maybe, like, if she's in a sleep delirium.
What the hell? You wake us up at the 7th day. Okay. Don't curse.
I was gonna say, what do you think Grandma says? Mm-hmm. Don't curse. Kelia, brushing her hair and inspecting her teeth in the mirror, said excitedly, Grandma's taking us all to the mall. Then we'll come back here to decorate the tree and we'll make dinner, and then Grandma's going to read "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" to us.
Is the mall open at that early in the morning?
I think on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
I think on Christmas Eve it's serious.
Back when it was...
At least in mall times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, joy. I know, right? Giggled Kelia. At this point, it was difficult to tell whether she was still sucking up to Grandma or truly enjoying all of the unbelievably lame stuff we were doing.
DeVay was pulling her jeans over her chick boxers.
Do you know what we call those?
Boxers?
Boxers.
Chick boxers.
If Haley wears boxers, and if I said to her, yo, Haley, cool chick boxers, she might punch me in the face.
It's the dumbest thing. Okay. Her hair looked perfect, as always. If I was a more materialistic kind of person, I would be intensely jealous of DeVay's hair.
Yeah, it sounds like you're not jealous of me.
She never has to brush it, and it always looks perfect. I mean, all it does is hang there, but it looks way more awesome and clean and shiny. Radical, the mall, said DeVay. I'm being seriously nice to my parents in hopes that they won't make me move, so I really need completely awesome presents for them.
I said, I'm flat broke, so this year I'm just telling everyone, Merry Christmas, feel the spirit. I was brushing my hair when I realized something. I said,
Okay.
Here we go. Grandma, the mall doesn't open until 10. Why are we up at 7? I seriously doubt that traffic is so bad that it'll take 3 hours to get there, especially since we walk.
Grandma turned to me with a suspect look in her eye. First, I plan to have you dressed like a normal girl your age. No more black, no more studs, and no more chains. More importantly, there will be no more hair hanging in your face. I refuse to be seen in the mall.
Like a bumblebee.
In the mall with someone as little taste as you.
Oh my god, Grandma being like, I can't be seen with you in public. That's so embarrassing.
So mean. She grinned at me and then turned to the door. I made a sour face at DeVay behind her back while she added, Oh, and I will be making you a real breakfast. Your mother has told me that the most you ever eat in the morning is a Pop-Tart. Those are high in fat and low in nutrients. She left with Kelia.
Thanks, Grandma.
Yeah, that was pretty nice, actually. DeVay said, Who the hell cares if you eat Pop-Tarts? It's not like you have to watch your weight anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
Back in the day when the only reason you would try to eat a balanced breakfast is to lose weight.
Yeah, you must be a fatty.
Exactly, added Matt. She's such a loser. No offense. None taken. I purposefully pulled out my black jeans and a black shirt and my black shoes and loads of jewelry that would be totally offensive to Grandma.
Whoa. I was about to go change in the bathroom when Grandma came back into my room with Kelia and balancing a tray containing about 40 pancakes, a huge jug of OJ, and a plate of bacon. She placed it on the bed and commanded me to eat it.
Okay, is this a more nutritious meal than a single Pop-Tart?
No. 40 pancakes and a plate of bacon.
I mean, it's got more protein.
Yeah, but she doesn't eat bacon.
She doesn't. Oh my god, you remember.
Yeah.
Grandma, I only drink apple juice, I said with a giggle. Oh, sorry. Grandma, I only drink apple juice, I said with a giggle. Matt and DeVay groaned.
Why is that, Jasmine?
Because OJ will kill you. Okay, I must have learned that joke the day before I wrote this.
I've never heard that before.
That's so dumb.
I'm gonna say that to Jason and just see what he says.
I'm sure I stole that from something.
Yeah. Matt and DeVay began laughing in spite of themselves, and Kelia muttered, "Stupid."
Wait, how do you think she muttered it, though?
Stupid.
You don't think she was like, stupid?
That's not a mutter.
You're right, but she's
right.
Kelia.
Stupid.
Like, so stupid.
I beg your pardon, said Grandma. I don't seem to see what is so funny here. This orange juice is perfectly fine and weeks before its expiration date.
Never mind, Grandma, said Kelia. She's just being stupid.
Grandma sniffed. Fine. Now eat, Jasmine.
What about them? I pointed to DeVay and Matt.
Of course them too, said Grandma, waving away the question.
Oh, and DeVay and me don't eat meat, I added, picking up the plate of bacon.
It's DeVay and I, corrected Grandma. She sighed loudly. And I remember that you don't eat meat. What kind of grandma do you think I am? I chose not to answer that. That's soy bacon.
Okay, first of all, you
That's
can
really nice.
It is. You're right. It is really nice. We should give her some credit.
Yeah.
Also, you can tell by looking if it's bacon or soy bacon. It is very obvious.
Anything that's not real pig bacon looks very different.
It looks like aliens trying to replicate bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Ooh, yummy, I said sarcastically.
Don't be a smart mouth, Jasmine. Grandma walked over to my dresser and began pulling things out. Most of it went into a pile, but a few things she tossed onto the bed. Just pile my clothes on the floor.
May I ask what you're doing, please? I said. I was a little surprised considering that my grandma had never in a million years made a mess before.
Looking to see if you own any adequate clothing.
Adequate in whose opinion?
The entirety of society. DeVay whispered to me, we're society's rejects.
Grandma finally stopped going through my stuff and looked over the things on my bed. All that was there was a pair of jeans, a skirt that I'd gotten from Aunt Madeline and Uncle Ken a few years prior, and a few shirts that I'd only worn once or twice before. I actually have an Uncle Ken.
Oh, there you go.
Shout out.
Shout
Although
out.
He's, well, whatever. I don't have an Aunt Madeline.
Grandma said, now Jasmine, I know you don't enjoy wearing skirts, so I won't make you.
I don't enjoy wearing any of that stuff.
Grandma ignored me. These jeans will do, assuming that they don't drag on the floor like your other pants. And today, you may wear this shirt. She held up a lavender tee with a plum heart in the middle.
I would so wear
That sounds
that today.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way.
Don't be silly, dear. You'll look adorable.
I clenched my fists. That shirt is too tight. I don't wear tight shirts. They are stupid and unnecessary and make my boobs look entirely too big. All the better, cried Kelia. You'll be such a babe magnet.
Kelia.
Babe, Kelia. I love Kelia. She's actually a really supportive sister.
Yeah, she really is.
I rolled my eyes. Just what I've always wanted. Random guys stuck to me because of the power of magnetism.
Grandma shook her finger at me. It's a metaphor, you know, dear. Don't give your sister a hard time.
Not the finger shaking. Oh my god. But it's so easy.
Grandma pursed her lips, but didn't say anything. And then has a line. Just go try them on, Jasmine. We'll see how you look.
No.
Grandma sighed and then said, last night I happened to find the $10 I owed you.
Fine, give me those. I grabbed the jeans and shirt and went into the bathroom. I emerged a minute later feeling completely slutty. Good for you, girl.
Yeah.
I closed my eyes before standing in front of the mirror. What I saw made me want to murder Kelia for ever giving me this hand-me-down shirt. I looked like such a prep. I hadn't noticed before, but now I could feel the inches of bare midriff showing between the short shirt and low pants. The sleeves were capped and made my arms look disproportionately skinny. Oh my god,
bragging,
imagine. The pants were uncomfortably tight across my thighs and oddly loose at the bottom where they flared out.
Sounds so cute, honestly.
Okay, like, this is never would grandma ever.
Yeah, like, I want you to slut it up. Why is that the alternative?
I don't.
There are only mall goths and mall sluts. No in between.
No in between. And we won't have a mall goth in this family. It just really is driving home how much I didn't know about anything when I was writing this. Like,
Yeah.
what was I trying to convey? Like, never would my grandmas at the time ever have done this to me.
No, my grandma was constantly trying to pull down my shirt so my
Yes.
belly didn't show, and then pull it up here so my boobs didn't show.
Yeah. And also, my grandma would never have been like, well, okay, this is obviously like a different grandma, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, just like, let me pick your whole outfit. Like, my grandma tried really hard to understand why
Yeah.
I was dressing the way I was dressing. Your line, Jasmine.
Jasmine, you look just darling. Kelia, do you have any shoes Jasmine can borrow? Those ratty old black ones of hers won't do.
Sure, chirruped Kelia.
Chirruped? That's a word?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like chirped.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, it's not underlined, so it's real.
Chirped.
Okay.
Let's do a right click synonyms. Oh, I forgot it's here. What does chirruped mean? Oh, I'm ruining everything. Chirrup. To say something in a high pitched voice. Yeah, literally like chirp. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Sure. Okay, but it would be more like, sure. Sure. She stuck her head into the closet and grabbed a few pairs. Pink clogs. I want pink clogs.
That sounds so cute.
White and silver sneakers and some of those awful Ugg boots that look like someone hollowed out a poodle and stuck their foot inside. Okay, I did have like a real vendetta against Uggs when they were popular originally.
I think I did too, and it was probably A, because my parents wouldn't buy me any, and B, because I thought they were basic and ugly.
They are basic and ugly, but what happened is my friend Marilyn in middle school, well, which was before this, so I'd already come around on Ugg boots, but maybe not entirely. But my friend Marilyn was from Australia, where Ugg boots were a real way of life.
Oh, yes.
And I just stuck my foot in her Ugg boot, and it changed my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, these are amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm still an Ugg slut. I'm on my third pair of Uggs in 20 years, by the way. They last a long time.
Damn.
Yeah, hell yeah. Fucking love them. They're right there.
Yeah.
Look how beautiful they are. My beautiful gray Uggs.
I put on my favorite sarcastic, oh my god, you gotta be kidding looks. What? The grin on her face quickly disappeared.
I don't wear shoes like that. Without waiting for Grandma to answer, I put on my black Chucks.
Grandma studied me for a minute and then announced that I looked all right. I suppose that the black shoes will have to do.
I looked into the mirror again. You know, Grandma, most grandmothers would discourage their progeny from wearing showing clothing. But why, oh why, do you want me to dress like a slut?
Your sister dresses like that, and she is most definitely not a slut. How come she's okay with that word?
Yeah, I don't know. Yes, she is. Have you met her?
The definition of a slut, Jasmine, is a girl who engages in sexual intercourse for the pleasure of it.
Oh my god, Grandma!
I would bet my bottom dollar that Kelia does not do this.
Shows how much you've been around here, I muttered.
Girls who have sex because it feels good are sluts.
Sluts.
You should hate every second of it.
I think it's true.
That's horrible.
You just described patriarchy.
Yeah, you're right. We only do it for the boys.
For the babies.
And the babies.
Do it for the boys and the babies.
What was that, dear? Grandma sang. Hold on. What was that, dear? Grandma sang, folding some of my carelessly heaved to the side clothing.
Nothing.
Matt and DeVay had been watching silently until now. Matt said with a cough,
I have to go home, Jazz. Gotta work later. That outfit makes you look a lot skinnier. He whispered as he left. Yeah, like Mary-Kate and Ashley skinny. Don't wear that. Okay, that is very indicative of what year this came out.
Yes.
Came out, like it went anywhere.
Yeah, 2006 or something.
That was probably like the first, I think that there was a lot of speculation at the time about if the Olsen twins had like eating disorders.
Yeah.
And I think that was like possibly one of my first exposures to like celebrity body discourse in my generation,
Yeah, that's probably right. I think that the Olsen twins were just like at the top of the zeitgeist for me, certainly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like before that too, I loved all their movies. I even had a Mary-Kate like Barbie doll, and my neighbor Lauren Baker had an Ashley Barbie doll.
Lauren Baker's been coming up a lot on the podcast.
Yeah, she does. I know. Gay.
Matt said, "Don't wear that," and Jazz says, "I don't plan to."
Are you leaving, Matthew? Called Grandma from the bathroom where she was humming and going through Kelia's hair supplies. Goodbye, then.
Grandma, why are you like from a Disney movie, but you also want your granddaughter to dress like a slut? Like, what is this? Later, Mrs. Renner.
After Matt was gone, Kelia forced me to sit down on the bed and she started messing with my hair. Ugh, what a bitch.
What a bitch. It's almost like she loves me.
Imagine having a big sister who would do your hair for you.
That sucks. She's such a prep.
I always wanted that. I'd never really attempted to do anything with it. It had always been the same. Blonde, brown, medium length, and just in between curly and straight. Like, when some people with straight hair let it air dry after going swimming, it bunches up and gets wavy.
Okay, do you want to know what that is? That's me not realizing that I had wavy hair as a kid.
Yeah.
Because when straight-haired people get their hair wet, it doesn't curl.
Yes.
So that's me being like, you know how, like, I have straight hair that curls naturally?
And Brooke's like, no. Like, yeah, there's lots of people who don't have that.
Yeah.
That's how my hair looks, but all the time.
I'll brush it first, Kelia said. I'm sorry. It's like the Jocelyn-ification of Kelia from Bob's Burgers. And she talks so stupid in that show, so every time I
Brush it first.
she goes, Jocelyn! Oh my god, lice. Oh my god, super lice. It's just Jocelyn stuff.
Oh, yes.
Just Jocelyn stuff. There's no point, I told her. It's all screwy, and if you brush it, it'll only poof out. Yeah. True, that means it's curly hair, curly. My dear. Oh, Kelia's lip curled up, disgusted. Well, we can at least get it out of your face.
She came at me with a pink hair scrunchie, but I quickly tucked some hair behind each of my ears so it wasn't hanging in my face and turned to Kelia.
There, it's not in my face. Better, said Kelia, satisfied. Are you sure you don't want it in a ponytail? Yeah, pretty sure, I said sarcastically.
What, ponytails are for preps? Like,
ponytails are for preps.
You can't ever pull your hair up?
Can't.
Okay, Grandma came in from the bathroom and clapped her hands. Oh, Jasmine, dear, you look wonderful.
Well, I feel like a slutty prep. I crossed my arms across my bare stomach and let my hair fall back into its usual position of hanging in front of my face.
At least you have a nice flat tummy, Grandma said. She handed me a bill from her pocket. Here's the $10 I promised. Okay, well, since we have 2 hours until the mall opens.
Fuck, Grandma.
We will start decorating now. Come downstairs, girls.
Kelia fluttered after Grandma out of my room and down the stairs. As soon as they were gone, DeVay hurried over to me. Oh, that's you.
Why the hell you let them do this to you? She cried.
Like, we've been through a trauma.
Yeah.
I grinned. 3 reasons, I said, ticking them off my fingers. 1, because all of this Christmas love is crushing my spirit. 2, because Grandma gives radical presents and I want to keep her in a good mood until tomorrow. And 3, because every year when Grandma comes over, Mom promises to give me $50 if I'm relatively polite.
DeVay laughed out loud. Jazz, is there any bribe you haven't taken?
I thought about it for a minute. I did seem to take a lot of bribes, but hey, if there's an opportunity to get something for nothing, even though it's not usually nothing, I thought that expression was appropriate since it's usually very close to nothing. I'll take it.
Excellent sentence.
Even if it means being totally nice to Grandma for the week surrounding Christmas. There was this one time when Alex was 5 and I was 12. He told me that if I murdered Kelia, he'd give me $1. Wait, he told me that if I murdered Kelia, he'd give me $1. I told him that I'd do it for free if I wouldn't get caught. Okay, so that's not a bribe. But that also puts Alex at about 10 years old.
Yeah. Damn, that's like a fucked up 5-year-old. I'll pay you $1 if you kill our sister.
Kill her.
You should have and done us all a favor. But you aren't seriously going to wear that to the mall, are you?
You know that Grandma's gonna make me. I walked over to the pile next to the dresser and pulled out a black sweatshirt with a flaming peace sign on it. Why peace flame? Why peace flaming? Why flame peace?
Contradictory.
I'll wear something over it.
I put it on and stood before DeVay. She looked me over. You look completely normal, except you've never worn flares before. All your pants are baggy and straight down.
What's the point of wearing flares? I asked. There's no purpose. And the reason we're having this conversation is because Roseanne is set in the 90s when there weren't flares.
Yes. In the 2000s, there were flares.
You just wore flares.
I know, but sometimes it's fun to wear huge bell bottoms just to get people's reactions.
I know, DeVay, but you'd wear anything if it fit you. And mostly anything that didn't fit you.
At that point, I heard Grandma's annoyingly high voice calling me from the kitchen.
Do it. Jasmine!
Jasmine!
Oh, great. I sighed. Shoving my hands in my pockets, I said dully, I guess we gotta go decorate.
DeVay frowned at me. Jazz, it just occurred to me, you have to go decorate. I'm just doing this so you won't be alone. I'm such a good friend.
Yeah, and also you'd be here anyway because you hate being around your stiff, square parents.
DeVay and I trudged down into the kitchen where my entire family was going through tons of boxes. There was tinsel and wreaths and bows scattered everywhere. Ryan was sitting in his high chair, banging a plastic Santa bowl with a broken candle.
Honestly, Ryan's the MVP of this story.
He's having a great time.
We love him.
As we entered, Grandma looked up. Jasmine, what happened to the shirt you were wearing?
Like, idiot, she's wearing a sweatshirt. It's obviously under the sweat. Jazz says, I got cold.
Oh, well then, I suppose you may wear the sweatshirt. Like I'd let her stop me. Anyways, I don't even think my grandma would be evil as to not let me wear a sweatshirt if I was cold.
But have you ever heard of Christmas sweaters, Jazz?
It could be worse.
Methinks not.
Yeah.
We spent the next few hours hanging things, draping things, and tacking things. More like the family did while DeVay and I goofed off. Grandma would come into the family... Okay. Grandma would come into the family... room, it doesn't say that, to find us talking on the couch, then bark at us to get working. We'd go hang something, then sit and wait for Grandma to find us again.
Okay, it's a fun game. After what seemed like forever, Grandma announced that we could leave for the mall. It was obvious that when she said we, she meant the entire family. But Dad had to look for a job, and Mom, poor Dad.
Of course he's unemployed.
Mom had to cook. Addie had to work on something for her art interpretation and appreciation class at NYU. And no one had seen Alex since breakfast.
Someone tell Addie she needs a new major.
Yeah, that's... I don't... Well, is she like a visual art major or something like that?
We don't know.
Okay. Alex missing was completely normal. He'd often be gone for hours at a time, but he always came home safe and relatively clean and without any cops escorting him, so Mom just enjoyed his absence.
Oh my god. That is your child.
He's 10 years old.
That is some real 80s parenting.
It wasn't like that even when we were growing up, at least not for me. My parents were so strict.
Yeah, no way. But I was dreaming.
Yeah.
Okay, so we actually put a hurtin' on another 10 pages.
Damn, did we?
Yeah, we're halfway
Did
through.
we? Okay, well, damn.
We're all done. I think that's good now because we're about to phase into the mall, and that's a new story beat.
I see.
We can do that next time.
Okay.
'Cause who knows how long the mall's going to take with all those preps there.
Yeah, all those preps and sluts.
All those fucking preps. Leela, how are you liking the progression of Jazz's confessions?
It's great. I still don't understand what she's confessing yet.
Or why.
Or why
we care.
Yeah, but it's very fun. It's very of its time. It takes me back.
Takes me right back to when I was a young idiot.
Yeah, takes me back. And I actually think Grandma's, like, even though she's very annoying, she seems very nice.
Yeah, like, without the judging.
Yeah.
But maybe you just need to give her time because she, like, judged about the vegetarian thing and then brought the soy bacon.
Yeah.
And that was, like, pretty legit.
That was very nice. Like, I don't know that my Nana would do that.
Yeah.
She would just be like, I guess you're just going to eat fruit? I don't... And eggs? I don't know.
Grandmas don't know what to do with vegetarians.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Should we play our little game?
Okay. Christina, do you think that Jazz's Confessions Part 3 is horny, sad, or just plain bad?
I wish I remembered what we did the other ones.
We probably said just plain bad.
Well, guess what?
What?
I'm gonna call it again. Just plain
Yeah.
bad. This is bad. This whole thing is bad.
Same for me again, like... going out of its way not to be horny. She's like, I don't want to look skinny and hot and show my boobies, like, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I think that, like, the way I was at the time, if I had, like, finished this, there definitely would have been some sex with Rory going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if that happens in the 80 pages we're halfway through. as I did not finish it. But don't forget, this is Darlene and What's His Butt.
So, I mean, okay, so were you very, like, is it, like, trying to be hot is trying, and so that's not cool?
Trying is not cool.
Okay.
And preps are not cool.
Yeah, but, like, wearing tight clothes doesn't automatically make you a prep.
It makes you a slut, and sluts are bad too, remember?
I forgot, yeah.
Sluts are bad too. And I'm like, this is literally like, these were ideologies I literally had at the time.
Yeah, I can tell.
Like, sluts are bad. Don't you remember, though? Sluts were bad.
That was the worst thing you could be.
It was really,
truly.
really bad to be a slut, which is crazy because, like, God bless sluts. We need them.
I tried my entire... Ever since I hit puberty, I tried to be as slutty, like, dress as slutty as possible. I always wanted to. And I think it was, like, a direct... like reaction to my mom really, really wanting me, maybe not knowing really what to do with the grown woman's body that emerged like suddenly.
Yeah.
And like not, I mean, what do you do when your daughter like gets double D boobs over the summer and, you know, just like wants to dress like her friends, like, you know, what's the right thing to do? Who knows?
Especially when they're young and it's hard to be like, hey, 13-year-old, like, daughter,
you're too sexy. You're dressed too sexy.
Bosom is large.
But I mean, she really, like, at one point I got in trouble, sent back upstairs to change my shoes. She said my shoes made me look like a streetwalker.
Whoa, were they heels?
Yeah, they were red heels.
Well, no shit.
But she bought them for me, you know? I didn't have any money, so...
Damn, what? Then maybe she only bought them for playtime.
Yeah, for like going to see a show or something. I don't know, but I would try to dress like that. I would wear really tight shirts. I would wear low-cut shirts. I would wear short skirts. I would try to get away with anything I could. And no one ever called me a slut because it was probably so obvious that I was extremely square, like square and sheltered and Christian.
Yeah. Like, not 1 year after this, I was, like, hooking up with my friend's boyfriend. And, like, buying corsets from Hot Topic to impress boys. Mm-hmm. So, in summary, we all contain multitudes.
Yeah.
And I am now both a slut, a prep, and a bitch.
Yeah. Is it slutty, preppy, or just plain bitch?
This Jazz is just plain bitch
for sure.
Just
and she likes it that way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the only option. The other two are not acceptable.
She's the kind of character where if someone was like, "You're such a bitch," she'd be like,
I know.
Hell yeah. Why do you think I've curated this extremely put on personality?
Yeah, Rory likes it.
Rory likes it. Well, we'll see.
Oh.
He went home. Don't forget. We're probably going to run into him at the mall at the arcade. Like we did last time.
Yeah.
But only time will tell. Check back next time on Jazz's Confessions. See, it's easier to do like synchronized when we're in person. Yeah. That's it for Burn Before Reading.
Until next week, remember,
your cringe is part of you.
But only like a totally... I can't think of it. Only like a totally unawesome part of you. Thanks for listening to Burn Before Reading.
Created by me, Christina Kahn.
Hosted and produced by Christina Kahn and me, Leela Hilton.
Logo designed by Michael Hardison. Follow him on Instagram at RoyGBivRVA or check out his work at wildlingpress.com.
Theme music by Sakura Wishes.
Find me online at Christina Kahn.
And find me at Leels for Reels.
Follow the podcast on Instagram and Tumblr at BurnBeforePod.
Or feel free to give us an email at burnbeforepod@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening, friends.
See you next time.
Dave X Media.